All right. Hi, everyone. So my name is Justin Lee, and I am the IBM Cloud Technical Evangelist. Okay. So that's my Twitter account and everything. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can actually leverage and create smarter applications with Cognition. I don't know if you know, recently over the last few weeks and last month or so, IBM has been announcing a lot of interesting acquisitions and interesting announcement about cognitive computing. So one of the things I'm going to do and going to cover a little bit, right, is what can you actually do now, today, with some of the services that we have at IBM, and maybe some ideas that you guys can build for iOS, right, your iOS applications. So what exactly is cognitive computing? Cognitive computing is really about thinking, about thought. It's not about machine learning and all of that, right? It's about thought. How many of you have heard of, or rather watched the movie Ex Machina, right? So imagine that kind of future. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to achieve, or rather create that kind of future, right? To create not emotions, but the ability for you as humans to interact with computers through natural language, through vision, through speech, and through other various level of reasoning. So what exactly is cognition or cognitive? Cognitive from Merriam-Webster. I looked this up, right? It is, the definition is, it is relating to, involving the conscious mental activity, so thinking, right? Understanding, learning, and remembering. These are the few things that is all about what cognition is all about, okay? And if you do computer science, have done artificial intelligence course, one of the artificial intelligence course, you would know that artificial intelligence and AI is not an easy thing. It's not something easy that you can just create very quickly, okay? There's a lot of different components to artificial intelligence. And a lot of people ask me, right, what exactly is cognition? Can we do data analytics? Can we do this? Can we do that? You know, the one thing I talk to them about and tell them, right, cognition is not about predicting. It's not about predicting the future, right? Treat yourself as a human, right, and think of what you would do as a human, right? And that's cognition, okay? So it's not about predicting the future. It's also not a recommendation engine. However, right? However, it could be or could supplement your recommendation engine, right? As a human aspect to it, as a cognition aspect of what would a normal human recommend certain things. And based on that, you create a higher level of recommendation engine based on what some of the things that you can come out from this cognition. And cognitive programming is not just artificial intelligence, it's not just machine learning, it's more than that. It's all about, it's a combination of all of that together with deep learning and various other things. So it's a really complex subject altogether. However, I can break down cognition or cognitive computing into 4 different parts, okay? 4 different parts that IBM is focused on. Cognition is all about adapting to the unknown. So learning, adapting, handling human kinds of problems, the unknown, where from a programmer as a developer, right? It is not something that, you know, it's just ones and zeros now. It's something that you are trying to create to handle human kinds of problems, okay? To resolve ambiguity. And that's what the real world is all about, resolving ambiguity and unpredictability. The second thing that we are focused on is about interaction, interacting with other humans, using languages, understanding the context behind the language, understanding various other ways of what does this sentence actually mean. We also talk about speech, right? How can the machine actually talk back to you or understand your language, your speech, and is able to process that. That is the other thing that we're thinking about, and we're actually doing that. And being able to allow you to converse naturally with the robot. Okay? And we do have a few services that are very interesting that you can actually leverage on. The third thing that we focused on for cognitive computing is about understanding the context behind features, understanding the context behind certain language, certain sentences, breaking it down into various different corpus of understanding. And that's what one of the few services that we have allows you to do, to create that kind of understanding for you. And of course, we also have vision and recognition for images. The last thing, and I think the most important thing, everything I just mentioned before is already handled by what IBM has to offer, all right? But what the reasoning part of it, right, it is very important. It is not about giving you the right answer. It's about giving you the best answer and the context understanding of the reason behind it, okay, and inference of the objective. So now I hope that you have a basic understanding of what cognitive computing is and what we are talking about cognition. The question I have for a lot of people is that, have we actually gotten there to that kind of stage of what we mentioned, the 4 different things? I personally don't think we have. However, we are in the first stage of that, and we are getting there. And I don't know if you heard of this thing called Watson. Have you guys heard of it? Right? The same Watson that we have that was playing Jeopardy 4 years ago, back in 2011, and actually won the winner of Jeopardy. This is what they have done. And let me just quickly play a very short video on that and what it actually might mean to you as iOS developers.
I remember that morning going to the lab, and I was thinking, this is it. This is the last Jeopardy game.
This is Jeopardy, the IBM Challenge.
Here we go. Brad, if you're ready, make your first choice.
Let's take alternate meanings for 200, Alex.
4-letter word for a vantage point or a belief. Brad.
What is a view?
Yes.
After the first clue of the game, which Brad won, I had just this horrible feeling at that moment that he was as good as everyone said he was, and he was just going to run the whole board on us.
Watson.
What is shoe?
You are right.
We actually took the lead. We were ahead of them, but then we started getting some questions wrong.
Watson.
What is leg?
No, I'm sorry, I can't accept that.
What is 1920s?
No.
What is chic?
No, sorry. Brad.
What is class?
Class, you got it. Watson.
What is Sauron?
Sauron is right, and that puts you into a tie for the lead with Brad.
The Double Jeopardy round of the first game, I thought was phenomenal.
Watson went on a tear.
Watson.
Who is Franz Liszt?
You are right.
What is violin?
Good.
Who is the church lady?
Yes. Watson.
What is narcolepsy?
You are right, and with that, you move to $36,681.
The risk was, if Ken gets a daily double, bets big, gets it right, he's going to be well ahead. And then with that kind of lead going into Final Jeopardy, if he bets enough, he could end up winning the match.
Ken.
What's a committee?
We got to find that last daily double. We got to find that last daily double.
It was a crucial moment in the game. There was still a daily double on the board, and it was starting to become pretty clear that it was in the legal ease category. Let's go to legal ease for 1,200.
Watson.
What is executor?
Right.
Same category, 1,600.
Answer, daily double.
That was the moment when I knew it's over.
The category is 19th century novelists.
What Watson wants to do then is preserve the lead, not take a big risk, especially with Final Jeopardy, because just like for humans, Final Jeopardy is hard for Watson.
Now we come to Watson, who is Bram Stoker, and the wager Hello, 17,973, and a two-day total of 77,147.
I would have thought that technology like this was years away, but it's here now. I have the bruised ego to prove it.
My past Jeopardy experiences have been great, but they weren't really weighty with this kind of technological, philosophical importance. I think we saw something important today.
Didn't really think very much about the implications until later and say, wow, wait a second, this is history.
Of course, this whole project is not ultimately about playing Jeopardy. It's about doing research and deep analytics and a natural language understanding. This is about taking the technology and applying it to solve problems people really care about. We're just so excited about all the things we can do with this.
I had thought this is the end. We get there, we're done. And I'm realizing it's just the beginning.
So it is really just the beginning for Watson. When this came out, right, there was actually only 5 different systems, right, cognitive systems, when this came out. Today's day and age, 4 years later, we have increased the number of cognitive systems and exposed this capability to you developers out there to up to about 28 right now. All right. So we've done a lot of work on that, and we think we are getting there. We think we are getting there. And now my question to you as developers: what can you do if you have that power, that access to that kind of power, that kind of cognition, right? Jeannie Romeri, my CEO, just recently at a Gartner Symposium 2015, basically said that we are in the age of cognitive era. It is in the beginning, and how do we go about using it and creating the next generation of applications, mobile applications, web applications, and this is up to the innovation that you developers will be able to come up with in these few different services that we have. So the few different services that we have that's offered externally right now, I just want to break it down into 3 different types. Okay? The first type is natural language processing. So the usual natural language processing, being able to come up with sentiments analysis, being able to come up with context behind it in a sentence, in a structure, in a paragraph. All this unstructured data, we give you the bare metal of natural language processing without you creating your own NLP models. The second thing that we have is vision and speech. So in terms of images, identification of images, whether if it's general image, face recognition, we are getting into the whole health imaging also, recognition. That's the other portion that we are working on and getting that exposed to the developers. And speech also, being able to improve the way robots speak. Okay, a machine speak to you. And I would like to show you a demo later, right, and how much better that speech is right now. And that's what we've been working on. I'm sure you've already heard, like robot speaking. You can immediately identify that voice is a robot. Okay. The other one this is the one that I think it's very, very interesting, is the higher level of reasoning and insights. And we're creating specific insights and specific services made available. Okay. So I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'm going to quickly go into the services available and what you can do right now. These are some of the services. I think I just want to highlight a few of them that personally some of my startups have been using. So personality insights. This is something that's actually quite interesting. I have a demo here on an example of what personality insights is all about. Okay, so personality insights is very simply, it understands, or rather from the base, or rather from how you write, right? How the way you structure your language, the way you write, the sentences, the language, the words you choose. It's able to extract out your personality based on what we call the Big Five personality. The Big Five is something that is researched and it's widely accepted as a personality measure. Okay, I created this very quick demo called Your Entrepreneur Match. It takes all the tweets from my Twitter account, analyzes my personality and matches my personality with other entrepreneurs out there that have already pre-processed. It's a very simple algorithm to do that whole matching. It's just a distance matching of all the different personality criterias. And all I do is just do that. Call the service, come back, and this is what I get back. Okay? And yeah, apparently I'm quite similar to Elon Musk. I don't think I am, but that's what it is, right? And it breaks down, the data that it breaks down, it gives you all the different percentages, weightages, confidence level of whether if you are this kind of personality or that kind of personality. To know more, we have documentations that you can find out, okay, and look at. The next one that I think would be quite interesting would be the, which one? I think the dialogue, okay? The dialogue is something that we make use of natural language and the way the computer or the machine is able to react and talk to you and reply you in a natural language way, right? And when you reply in a natural language way, your own language, it's able to understand the context behind it and extract that out based on the questions that Watson asks. So that's just another demo that I have. All these demos, right, if you realize it's all web demos, but before I go into the iOS demo, I just want to show you some of the things. And after that, I'll get into it and how you actually use and consume this. Because this is all, you are able to use it on your iOS also, and I'll show you how to go about doing it, okay? Where is it? Wait, give me a second. So the dialogue one I have here is, give me a second, let me quickly, there we go. Virtual agents. So the dialogue one, this is one thing, one of the demos that I did, right? What's in theaters to chat with Watson. If you can imagine, this could be your first line of kind of customer service in a way, right? So let me just type, my name is Justin, right? It asks, hi Justin, would you like to find a movie that's playing now or coming soon? Maybe I'll like to watch a movie now. All right. It's able to go back, understand what I am saying over there, and it asks, like, are you in the mood for a specific genre? Well, I'm not sure. How about something funny? Okay. I'm not even replying based on the options that they are asking me. Right? I'm just replying in a natural language. Okay? Say, oh, sorry, what happened? Okay, give me a second. Well, how about something funny? Ah, there we go. Now it works. Do you prefer a certain movie rating? Nope. And then it gives me some recommendations. And all of this script and everything is really simple to just script it out. And the actual language processing is done automatically for you to extract out the context of what I am typing here. Okay? So that's one example. I think the last one would be maybe quite interesting. I'm not sure. The last one that I have, right, and before I get into the iOS, I have an iOS app here using some of these services. So before I get into it, there is actually one more that I would like to show you, maybe the text-to-speech part of it. Okay, so I have a text-to-speech. This is trying out our text-to-speech. I'm going to say, hello, everyone at iOS conference. Okay, let's try that and see whether that works.
Hello everyone at iOS conference.
Okay, and you can just do that, right, very easily. Everyone at iOS conference. Okay.
Hello everyone at iOS conference.
And if you hear the tonation and everything, it's actually automatically generated for you, and that's where the machine learning part comes in, is to automatically do the tonation for you. And if you do want to have the tonation, you can submit an SSML. Yep, correct. So that's essentially a few of the services. So my question is, how do you go about using it, right? I hope I gotten you interested on you wanting to use something like this. So how would you actually change the world with some of these services that we have? The basic knowledge that you need in order to consume this service, these services are just HTTP. So in iOS, right, it's just a HTTP request, response, get back, and so on and so forth. How to call a REST API, very simple, right? And essentially JSON. These are the basic things, and all you need to do is just do that, right? Call an API, get back the data with a JSON format, and then that's the data, and that's it. So let's take a look at how we can go about doing that, okay? I have an iOS application that I've created over here. It's Ask Dr. Watson, okay? It's here. I'll later show you. This is the basic architecture diagram. One of the things that I did was I actually went through Node.js. There are several reasons because of that. But I went through a Node.js server which translates all the HTTP requests for me. But on a Node.js server, it's also a REST API. Very simple. And then we have other mobile services that basically I'm using to help me create the application and do some debugging and logging. Okay, but the more important part is the part where it's at the bottom where it's using the two different services. So how do I go about using the two different services? You go into Bluemix.net, right? Here's the thing I want to teach you guys. Okay, this is Bluemix.net. I go into Bluemix, I click on the catalog over here, right? I have a bunch of services. I choose the service. Let's say I choose Personality Insights. I can go click on Personality Insights. I've already pre-filled everything, right? In the development space, I leave it unbound, which means that I don't have to have application hosted on Bluemix in order to use this service. Okay, so I leave it unbound. I create my credential names and everything. I just click on create, and it goes and create. And what I do is once I create this personality insights, this is just an example, but there is the question and answer, the speech, and all of that stuff. It's the same steps. Okay, so this is how I go about doing it. I click on there. It goes create the service. And right now what it's doing, it's actually creating the credentials for me to actually use. Okay? So now I just go to service credentials. I come here. I have all the information I need in order to use this. Notice it's just a URL. Okay? It's just a URL. That's the base URL. Based on the documentation, there is going to be a /v1/v2 dash something something, okay? But that is the API level, the different APIs that are available on the REST, okay? Username is just this, password is just this, okay? And for some of the services, not all, some of the services are leveraging the basic authentication. So all you need to do is just put the credentials, username, password as basic auth, set up your HTTP requests, and that's it. Make sure that you have the correct URL and just consume. And of course, this correct JSON data to pass in. All right. So from a basic level, you know that this is how you go about doing it. This is the URL, username and password, basic authentication. All you need to do is call. In this application, Maybe let me just show you the application. How about that? And what I've done, yeah? All right, so now you know that's how you go about doing it. Let me show you what the application actually does. Let's see. Maybe I can make this bigger. And one of the things I just found out, right? There isn't a turn off all notifications. So I'm using my own personal iPhone right now, and I hope nobody messages me. All right. So what I'm going to do, I have the application over here, Watson something, I think. I can't remember. Yeah, there we go. Watson Speech QA. Okay. So I just created this first page. What can Watson help you today? I've connected it with our health backend corpus. A corpus is just a knowledge base of all my health things that we have been training it and putting it inside. I'm going to try this, okay? The first thing it's going to do is it's going to listen to my speech and it's going to translate it into text. So I'm going to try what is Parkinson's disease, and let's hope this demo works. What is Parkinson's disease? Let's see whether that works. So it's going back to the Watson speech analyst. Oh, it does, right? It's taking the WAV file, going back there, analyzing the text, returning the text that it basically says, hey, this is what you just said. What is Parkinson's disease? Now I have the text. I'm returning it back to my question and answer. Oh dear, why is it spinning? It's returning back to my question and answer, Watson question and answer. Oh! And, the demo gods unhappy with me right now. But basically what's happening, let me get back here again and show you, okay? Basically what's happening is it's going back to my Watson speech to text, translating the speech to text, returning me the transcript, returning the transcript back to the Watson Q&A. I know there's a lot of optimization can be done, but this is for demo purposes to show you how, how you use it, okay? It goes to the Watson Q&A, and then after that, it gets back the result. So I'm going to try again. I think there's some internet issues. What is Parkinson's disease? Let's see. Let me go back here. What is Parkinson's disease? It's able to identify my language. And come on, you can do it. Oh, okay. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something else. I tried this. It worked 20 minutes ago. It worked 20 minutes ago. No. Okay. Sorry? Something easier? Okay. How do I quit smoking? Let's see whether... how do I quit smoking? It's able to... I think... No, it can't be because my server is running. Otherwise, the first step would not be able to process. Anyways, okay? Never mind. It's supposed to show you a result, okay? It's supposed to show you a result. Anyways, okay. Just to show you a little bit of what the code behind is, right? It's really, really simple. Just to show you what I've done, right? So over here, what I've done is, essentially all the whole capturing the audio and everything, that's the simple, iOS, APIs and everything. You can just quickly grab and save it into a WAV file. Okay, very important. Save it into a WAV file in 16-bit or 16K kilohertz or 8 kilohertz or something like that. There's certain criteria that you need to conform to. WAV file, and then after that, you post it using an HTTP request. After you post it to an HTTP request, it gets back the response. Okay, it gets back the response, and I just extract the JSON out of it. And that's pretty much it. All the documentations are all available, but this is just the basic stuff. And then all the rest is all error handling. Okay? And then after that, after I get the transcript back, I send another GET request. I say, hey, can I get the answer to this question? And then when I get that, right, I get a response back in JSON. Also, same thing in JSON. I get back the response, and I extract it out, the JSON formats, right? Extract it out and basically use those, right? I'm not very good at UI, so yeah, forgive me, right? I'm a developer. But let's try one more time. Can we try one more time? See whether if it will work. Okay, let me try one more time, okay? If this doesn't work, I'll show you where to download the source code and everything, okay? So give me a second, let me try. What is Parkinson's disease? Okay, let's try. Cross our fingers. All right. Anyway, I think it's not going to happen. Oh, wait. I think there's something wrong with my... it's not showing up. Yeah, anyways. Oh, there we go. So I think I'm not gonna carry on with this. So oh, the demo gods are not happy with me today. So anyways, so I just want to show you how easy it is to actually consume it. You can actually reduce it all into one, just directly call into the URI, directly call the REST APIs and everything. That's what you can do, okay? So, yeah, don't copy my username and password because I'm going to delete this. Okay, and that's pretty much it, right? There are a lot of different services. All the different services are available through a REST API, JSON call, very standard. What I usually use to even try it out is using curl, right? I can even use curl and just try it out and make sure whether my JSON format is correct. Because one of the things that really catch me whenever I use this new service, and we're adding new services every other month, okay? Every time I try to play around with it, the one thing that catches me is always the data format, the JSON format, right? The structure, sometimes I get something wrong, sometimes I have a variable that's a little bit off, I typed it wrongly, so. Anyways, if you have any questions, this is my email address. If you have any questions, that's it for my presentation with regards to Watson services. If you have any questions, I have about a few minutes more to answer. Yes, sir.
For personality, are you able to do the same process of analyzing the audio, taking the text, and
yes. So one of the interesting things about Watson, right, is so the question is, am I able to take the speech, convert it into text, and then send it into personality insights and understand all my personality and whatnot, right? Okay, so there are all the services have certain criteria to it. For personality insights, the basic criteria is to have at the recommended 3,000 words. So if you're going to have like 3,000 words and just talk, right? Maybe, I don't know, right? But it is possible because one of the interesting things with Watson is combining multiple services together, like you said, using speech to text, converting that, and then after that, analyzing. So one of the interesting demos, actually not demo, was it a demo? Yeah, it is a demo. Somebody took some of the TED videos, right? Extracted the audio out from the TED video, translate that into text, okay? Run it through Personality Insights, and not just Personality Insights, but also our NLP, and is able to extract out some context behind it, the personality of the speaker, and build a deeper search engine for video searching. So that's one of the things examples that we've created also. Right, some ideas that you can come up with. So yes, there are certain limitations and certain criterias that is required. But if you meet those criterias, yeah, why not? One more question? Ken?
Mine is a quick one.
Okay.
How much does this cost?
How much does it cost? Very good. There is all our services has a free portion to it. So it's enough for you to use, as much as you want per month, right? Up to a certain amount, of course. But there is always a free portion of it. We make sure that it's always enough for you to create a POC. So Personality Insights cost about, basically the free tier is about 100 API calls per month. And it's perpetually free, right? Perpetual free tier. Other services will be, 1,000 API calls, some sort X amount of API calls. For the Alchemy API part of it, it's 1,000 API calls per day, every day for free. And if you want to increase that, of course you pay, right? Yes, one more.
Is there any support to load your own corpus?
Is there any support to load your own corpus? We are building that support for that. We have not exposed that out yet. It will be coming in the next few months. Okay, so for the corpus part of it, to build your own knowledge base and read out of it, it is coming. We are working on that. Okay. Any other last questions? I will be around for the whole day. Just give me a buzz. Yep. Okay. Or send me an email over here, justin.lee@sg.ibm.com. Thank you very much. Oh, do we have time? Do we have more time?
Actually, we can take the last question.
We actually have more time.
Just the last question?
Yeah, how about one more last question? Yeah, over there.
Where do you store the user? I mean, because you say it can be like a large amount of data.
Yes.
3,000 words or whatever.
Yes, 3,000 words.
Let's say we are sending you the conversation that we want.
You're sending us what? The conversation, yes. Okay. Very good question. Are those data safe with us? Whatever data that you're sending across, okay? All the data that you send across is not being used to train the machine. It is not being saved. There are one or two APIs that does that, but it only does that for public data. So if you pass in a public URL, we will save it to cache it so that we don't reprocess it again. But if it's private data, we will not keep the data. Okay? It is part of our data privacy policies. Okay? Is that it? All right. Thank you very much. If you have any other questions, I'll be around. Just give me a, holler. Thank you.